Okay, I've got parallel, which means I'm looking for alternate interior angles that are congruent, which means I'm looking for the Z situation. All right, and then I also have a midpoint, which means I have two equal parts. All right, and let's go ahead and deal with that. I am going to choose to do the midpoint first because I think midpoint's easier. And again, I want to get something on to my screen that makes sense. So my equal parts are BI congruent to ID because midpoint makes two equal parts. So midpoint makes two equal parts. So then parallel, looking for alternate interior. So let's make sure we know what lines are parallel. AB and DC. Extend them out, AB, DC. So I'm going to extend them out like that. I want a Z. So there's the easiest Z that I see right there. So there's a pair of angles that are the same because they're alternate interiors. So let's throw that in. Angle ABI is congruent to angle CDI because parallel creates congruent alternate interior angles. So I've got that. All right, now I have two options at this point. I have two options, and I'm going to put them both in here. Then I'm going to put stars next to them because you don't need them both. So I see my alternate interior. I'm like, okay, I got alternate interior. Then I might look at it and go, all right, vertical or reflexive property. And if I do that, I'm more than likely going to get to right here because those are vertical angles in the blue triangle and the purple triangle. All right, so personally, that's what I would end up with. So I would say angle BIA is congruent to angle CID. BIA CID because vertical angles are congruent. All right. Now, maybe you immediately saw, you're like, wait, Mr. Flint, there's another pair of alternate interior angles right there. And there is. So you could say angle BAI is congruent to angle BAI DCI because parallel creates alternate interior. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big star here. And I'm going to say only need one of these. You don't get any bonus points for having both. So doesn't benefit you. And one of the things you'll hear me talk about when you actually start writing proofs is we don't want extra information in there just because. We don't just want to write down everything we see as true because we don't get any extra points for having extra things that are true that we don't need. So depending on what I have now, all right, so I can have red and purple, I could have red and orange, I could have orange and purple. All right, I don't need all three of them, just any two of them. Depending on what I have congruent triangles regardless. It just changes the reason. And with proofs, quite often, you can have more than one reason depending on what you write down. I'm going to throw out what doesn't work. Hypotenuse leg is out. I only have, no matter what of the red, purple, and orange, I only have one pair of congruent sides. So those are both out. So I have either angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. And I actually have both of them with what I have written. I'm going to put the side is in the middle. All right, side is in the middle. Okay. Now, this is where I got to look. If I have red and purple, all right, let me zoom back in here. If I have red and purple, then the side is in the middle. If I have red and orange, it's not. If I have orange and purple, it's not. So if I have red and purple, I am going to have angle, side, angle. So I'm going to put red plus purple. I have angle, side, angle. All right. If I have red plus orange, Or if I have orange, I'm trying to make this so it's color coded, plus purple, I have angle, angle, side. So it depends, again, what you have, and this is this whole understanding process. So I'm going to match my letters up right next to this here. So I'm going to go ABI. A matches up with C, B matches up with D, whoops, B matches up with D, and I matches up with I. So triangle ABI, and this doesn't change, is congruent to triangle CDI because, all right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line through this orange one because I wouldn't have that one. So I would have red and purple in my proof. So I would say because angle, side, angle. All right, but if you had red and orange, you would have angle, angle, side. All right, and that's part of the reason that proofs are a little difficult to write because yours doesn't have to look like the person next to you all the time.